Welcome back to Just Scrap Radio on BJPen.com. I'm your host, Cole Shelton. Episode 187. We've got a good lineup here ahead of UFC Saudi Arabia. First up, we're joined by Jairzinho Rozenstruik to preview his main card fight against Sergey Pavlovich, a really pivotal fight in the heavyweight division. Rozenstruik, 2-fight winning streak. Pavlovich, back-to-back losses to Aspinall and Volkov. Obviously, he's looking to rebound. Rozenstruik knows the winner. This one's right back in that title picture, and he's really looking forward to fight a guy like Pavlovich. He said they have trained together, both at ATT. It wasn't a huge deal, but he's kind of looking forward to this one as he knows the winner Pavlovich does wonders. And then we close things out talking to Terrance McKinney to preview his fight against Damir Hadzovic. Terrance is finally back. He's obviously said he wanted to take a lot of time off after that last knockout, really make sure he's 100% healthy. Coming up, he knows he's got to show up here against Hadzovic. This is a fight that he should win, and he expects to do it in a really dominant fashion. But be sure to share the show, subscribe, and tune in next week for another episode of Just Scrap Radio.
All the time, yeah.
All right, we're jumping UFC heavyweight Jairzinho Rozenstruik, who's back in action on February 1st at UFC Saudi Arabia. Jairzinho, how's it going, man?
Good, what's going on?
I'm doing well. Big fight here against Sergey Pavlovich. We haven't seen you since August. Were you kind of hoping you were going to get one more in last year? Or was this kind of the time frame you were looking at?
We wanted to get one more in last year. We had a good year, so we wanted to keep the movement. And yeah, but it's not far from last year. It's like end of January, you can say. So it's a perfect timing. We're back in training, back in shape. We feel good. So yeah.
What is your confidence like going into this year? Because you look at 2023, you just had that one fight, you lost to Almeida. A lot of people are kind of counting you out, especially against that Shamil fight, and then you kind of get two big wins. What's the confidence like now compared to this time last year?
I mean, you always be confident stepping in the octagon. You never doubt yourself. It's more preparation. You know which way to go, what you want to do, and definitely when you lost, you go back to the drawing board and see what was the mistake or what did you did wrong. So I actually know what happened and kind of but it is what it is. We always move forward. We be positive, and move forward.
And with Pavlovich, is this someone you wanted, or is it just who they offered you?
They offered me. It's not a fight that I'm looking for. He possesses a perfect spot to be back in the game, back in the top five. I know I trained with him. I think 2-3 years, and yeah, no bad blood. It's we professionals, so we got to fight for the spot. So that's how I see it.
Do you take anything away from your training sessions? Do you think it was so long ago that doesn't really matter, and it is just training?
It matters, but it is what it is, and you know, there's no right or wrong with fighting. You gotta be in there. You gotta be surviving. You gotta have to finish your opponent. That's it. So see it the way you want it. The only thing I know, I'm gonna be in shape. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna face him, and then we're gonna find out.
I guess you fought JDS too, because he was at ATT. Is this the second time then you fought someone you trained with?
That's correct, but I never trained with JDS.
Yeah, oh yeah, he was just at the gym.
Yeah.
And Pavlovich's last fight, he trained with Volkov a lot too. So do you think that maybe threw him off a bit, where maybe he got overconfident or just kind of knew?
You say he trained with Volkov?
Yeah, before they used to be friends. That's why that fight was very weird that they made it.
Oh, that's crazy. All right, I didn't know that. I didn't follow it. What was the best, and
with Pavlovich, what have you made of his last two performances? You look entering that Aspinall fight, he was kind of considered that next champion almost. That Aspinall fight was crazy. They both kind of got rocked. Aspinall just having to land better, and then the Volkov fight was kind of surprising where Volkov just kind of outstruck him for 3 rounds.
I mean, I'm gonna say it from my perspective. When you lost 2 fights in a row, then you got to do something different, and then it's always gonna be between your ears, and then you're gonna find a way to come out of it, and yeah, you can't say anything positive because it's not. You want to win all the time. That's how we train. We are fighters. We want to win. When I step in the octagon, I don't accept that I'm gonna lose or I'm expecting I'm no. Just gonna go in there and find a way to win. That's it. So
lots of bodies at ATT who are kind of the main guys you're working with for this camp.
we're working with everybody. We have Rizvan, we have Marcelo, We have Sacomea, the Rodriguez, Sacomea. Let me see, Said Salma. Who else? Yeah, I work with everybody. I don't- you know, for me, even sometimes the light heavyweight guys, to keep my speed up, I do keep about a couple of rounds with them. So yeah.
And I know Gaziev's on this card too, and he always keeps saying he wants that rematch. Like, is that something you think will eventually happen way down? But like for you, I guess it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense right now.
Probably, but right now, as you said, it doesn't make sense. I'm in a good streak right now. I'm looking for a third win, and then I want to put myself back in the game, give it a good run, and then we'll see after.
Something we've always talked about is how much improved your wrestling is every time. Do you think this one just stays standing? I know both you guys are good strikers, but like you do have that wrestling now. Like, do you imagine just striking fight till however long it lasts?
I rather stand, of course, but I'm
Mhm.
not scared to get to the ground. Make it nasty. I don't care. I'm in good shape. I feel good, and I'm ready to step in.
How do you kind of see this one playing out then?
You know me, I always go for the finish.
Mhm.
He's a strong guy. He's fast. He got a long reach. He got a couple of reach on me. So we're working on everything. And as I mentioned, I'm in shape. I feel good. I can't wait till February 1st.
Oh, what do you think a win here does for you? Because like, so say a lot of talk is maybe John and Aspinall happens, and that would be John's last fight regardless. You are kind of one of those top guys that hasn't fought Aspinall. It would be that fresh matchup. Like, do you think a win here and say Aspinall becomes champ, like that could be enough to get you a title shot?
Maybe not enough, but I'm always ready to step up.
Mhm.
So a win here will put me definitely back in the game. And in consideration of a number one or number two contender, you never know. So a win is definitely really important for my career.
Do you think we see John and Aspinall fight this year?
Maybe Dana says yes. Like I mentioned earlier this year, last year, I don't think John need another fight
Mhm.
or need to fight a contender as Aspinall. If you want, it's good. It's better for us because then the greatest heavyweight of all time. He did a lot for the sport. You get a chance to see him again, and you get a chance to learn what he does again. So it's better. But if he doesn't, for me, I don't care. I'll focus on my career and focus going forward.
Who do you think would win that fight? Because I actually think John would win. I think I'm in the minority thinking picking John. It seems like everyone's like kind of on Aspinall.
If I have to be honest, I think it's gonna be a kind of weird matchup. Both of them fight different. John is not a guy like that, engage the way Aspinall engaged. So you know, so for me, that matchup it's different. It's not. I don't see it as a matchup that might have maybe the first 5 minutes, not a lot of action.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just a couple more things. Like, what is kind of the goal then for you this year? Like, starting off early February, like you can kind of set you up to have a pretty active year.
Oh, definitely. Go in there, get a win, and then I want to come back June, and hopefully we get three in this year. Yeah.
Uh, you can get your 10th UFC win with this fight. Does that mean anything to get double-digit UFC wins?
One more time.
This could be your 10th UFC win. Does that mean anything to get to that double-digit mark for UFC
Oh,
wins?
definitely, definitely. I mean, like, I have over 100 combat fights. And 10 win in the UFC will be great, and that's always what we're going for. We always want to win. We never doubt ourselves that we're gonna lose, or something happen. When something happen, then it happen. But you always go for the win.
Just final thing, whenever you go home, I always see your videos. It gets pretty crazy. You planning on heading back home after this one, or you just gonna
Yeah,
stay tuned?
definitely have to go back home. I didn't visit the last December because I have a fight coming up and I want to be well prepared. So I offered that to stay here, get myself in good shape. So after this one, I'm definitely going home.
Well, Jairzinho, I appreciate the time as always. Thanks so much for doing this again.
My pleasure, man.
All right, we're joined with UFC lightweight Terrance McKinney, who's back in action here on February 1st in Saudi Arabia. Terrance, how's it going, man?
Doing great. I'm sore. I almost forgot about this.
um, Obviously been a bit since we last saw you. Just coming after that last fight, like, was the goal to kind of take a bunch of time off then and just kind of make sure you're 100% going to that next one?
Exactly. Make sure my body's healthy and just making sure I'm with the right team. So, we can start eliminating these mistakes.
What do you think was the mistake in that fight then?
I would just say I got a little bit too comfortable
Mhm.
and just wasn't paying attention to the throwaway kick. So just making sure I'm respecting everything and just know like there's a threat of the kick when I'm Xing out and keep my hands up.
Did you make any changes to like training partners, coaches, camp, or anything then for this one, or is it
Yeah,
the same?
yeah. I trained at Fusion Excel with Julian Williams, and you guys know we got Mike Davis there, Lucas
Mhm.
Alexander, Phil Rowe. We got so many talented guys that's always coming in. So yeah, I moved down to Orlando, and it's just been a huge blessing training with Mike Sergoli. I think that's how you say his last name. Training with Manny. He's
Mhm.
a Muay Thai guy, super filthy. Dom, uh, Brooks, just you name it, just left and right, getting the best striking I can get in jiu-jitsu.
How'd you kind of link up with them? Like, what was kind of the connection to there?
I prayed about it and I heard in my head Fusion, and then I was like, God, if I'm really supposed to go to Fusion, just have the person reach out. And Phil Rowe hit me up twice, and the rest was history.
How long have you been there then? Like, been a couple months now?
I would say since July.
Okay, so yeah, it has been a while. That's You're pretty comfortable then, like going into your first
Yeah,
fight underneath them.
yeah, exactly. So God's timing was perfect. Gave me time to get acquainted with this team, and yeah, it was a huge blessing.
Going out to Saudi Arabia, that long of flight, is that something you were hoping to kind of stay in the States? Or are you kind of excited to go out that part of the
I
world?
do like staying in the States, but I won't make the same mistake last time. I'm coming like a week and a half earlier. That way I can get rid of that jet lag and I won't be slow during our fight. So just making sure if I do fight out the country, just making sure I'm moving wise.
I guess Luke's is on the card too, then, isn't he? That you
Yeah, Lucas
train with? So
Alexander, me
how
and
nice
Mike
is that then,
Davis.
having a teammate to go on that flight with you and kind of make fight week a bit easier?
I got three of them, Mike Davis as well.
Yep.
So it's just incredible being in a position like that. I see God's favor falling on our team. Because it's like you got to be on City Kickboxing or American Top Team to see three of the fighters on the same team
Mhm.
together. So like this is huge for our team, and we get this put it on the map this year, and I'm excited.
And I guess that makes it training in the gym a lot better when all you guys are kind of peaking for that same date, and going for that same date probably makes the rounds pretty competitive.
Oh yeah, the rounds is insane. Pay-per-view worthy. So like I said, I think the people I'm training with are better than my opponents. So I think I'm more than ready for whatever the fight goes February 1st.
Damir Hadzovic, like, how familiar were you with him? We haven't seen him fight in a while. Like, were you surprised this is the guy you're getting?
I don't mind it. I think, like I said, everything happens for a reason. I think this is the perfect opponent for me to come back to and get back in my groove and get back to my winning ways. And and I know he's a scrapper. He's a veteran. His defense is solid. Uh, so I'm taking him very seriously. And like I tell people, he might seem old to you guys, but there's people 41 out there still doing it like
Mm.
he's a young buck, like Cub Swanson. So I'm still taking him highly seriously. I know he's still explosive, and I just know I knew him just because the Marcano fight when he's like, I wanted to
Yeah.
fight longer, and he was like, you shouldn't have tapped me then. I'll never forget that moment. That's hilarious. So yeah.
Uh, he has been off for a while. Like, I just counted, you fought 6 times since the last time he's fought. Like, do you think ring rust is like a real thing, like someone he might be dealing with in this one?
I think it's real, but at the same time, like a guy that's been fighting that long, I don't think it's going to affect him too much.
With this one, like, do you imagine Demir's gonna probably want to take you down? It seems like not many guys really want to stand with you all that much. Like, are you kind of expecting him to try to wrestle, or you think this will be a striking fight?
I think this will be a striking fight, one that the fans will really like. A lot of people wrestle Demir, but you guys know who I am. I'm down to bang. So should be an exciting one.
Any pressure on you just coming off that last fight, kind of right that wrong, like kind of show everyone you're still like that contender in this division?
No pressure on me. I know what I'm capable of, and I know at any night that I can compete with the best in the world. So just making sure when I go to my fights, I got the right mindset. So just making sure I'm spiritually right, and then everything else is gonna align. So just staying with God and trusting in the abilities He's given me.
How do you kind of see this one playing out with you and Demir?
Uh, we'll see. He might. I feel like he does shoot sometimes. So, but I see me doing what T-Rex does, and we get him out of there the first round. All glory to God.
For you, you're always an insane fast starter. I know there's always been a knock on your cardio. I know that's something you always work on. So, like, is there part of you that like wants to get into a fight late to show like you got that 3 rounds, or do you kind of want to keep that in the back pocket still and just like kind of get rid of these guys early?
Just you guys gonna see a way more patient Terrance. So like, if I do finish go to second round, I know we can finish him at any round. Like I said, this team's incredible, and they've been holding me accountable. I've been running probably like way more than I ever ran in my life, to be honest. So I put in like 3 miles with ease now, and also just doing sprints and things like that. Just really just going all in, and I'm really not worried about fighting 3 rounds if I have to ever again.
Is like running something you never did in the past, or like just not to this amount?
No, not at all. I this is the first camp where I was really put in the road work, and it's actually paying off. Like I used to get tired doing 3 rounds in my training camp. Now like we're doing extra 4 or 5, like, and I'm feeling great.
You get past Demir, like where do you think that kind of puts you in the division? You're a guy, fan favorite, like big name. I think like you get a big knockout here, a big win, like kind of can give you some big fights next.
Yeah, I think I just want to be strategic, pick the right fights, because it's not just about being the best fighter. It's about being a smart fighter. You know what I mean? Just picking the right matchups. I want to finish the year 3-0 and fight for a ranking spot at the beginning of next year.
Final thing, like what is the goal then? Like I imagine it's to be pretty active, just string together some wins then for this year.
Yes, like I said, I want 3 wins. If I can sneak a fourth fight in, so be it. You guys know I love to stay active. So I just want to make sure my defense on point, keep my body safe so I can get in there as many times as I can this year.
Well, Terrance, I appreciate the time as always. Thanks so much for doing this again.
Hey, no problem, brother.